Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it would appear that corporations are learning a lesson. Corporations are being advised by their PR people to stay quiet during these trying political times.
These political hot button issues.
These political hot button issues like abortion, that is the new thing now. And we did have some companies kind of come out in support of the Ukraine, but not like they were for like BLM and other movements. I mean, it was kind of a more subdued reaction.
I think the Ukraine thing people are okay with because it's not actually like our politics, and like pretty much everybody's like supporting that, so that's safe. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so this was really interesting. I was sent this by Black Sage D.
Thank you.
Thank you for the tip. That, PR firms are actually telling companies like Coke and Netflix to stay out of political hot button issues because, look at what happened with Disney.
I was like, because Disney?
Pretty much, it's the Disney effect. So this isn't a dismal Disney video, but it is in a roundabout way because there has been talk of them being the canary in the coal mine for a lot of these companies when it comes to politics.
Well, I keep seeing these articles too about, oh, yay, Disney, because they're so progressive and they're helping our causes and everything else. But Disney's not saying anything about the latest issue. And they are being very quiet. Don't they owe these people a statement? Because according to them, they do now.
They tried that. It didn't work. We've been documenting that. But yeah, Disney's even staying quiet during the...
Right. That's what I'm saying. Aren't people going to get mad? Aren't they going to be like, Disney, you're our mouthpiece now.
Yeah.
You set yourself up as our mouthpiece. So, you need to speak up.
Yeah. So that's the problem. When you make your company political and you have your company giving statements on whatever the political hot button is that week, and it is like a weekly damn thing, you are expected to constantly give political statements, and eventually some of those statements are going to run contrary to what's best for your business. In many cases, they run, because we're living in such a polarized time now. You say one thing, support one side, you're alienating the other, alienating your customer base, and you're also kind of overstepping because it's like, hey, I'm just here to sell Coke.
Yeah. And put our people through race training. But
yeah, and I think they've learned from that too, because didn't they fire the...
I don't know if they fired him, but I know that it was an issue.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to talk about this. This is a very big change from 2020, where companies were told they basically had to get on board with BLM or whatever else was going on and give a statement, or they were terrible, and now their PR firms are telling them, and I think in part because of Disney, to shut up. Just shut up, brand. Silence, brand.
Yeah.
Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, over 267,000
Yay,
subs.
thank you.
Thank you for the support. We do talk about pop culture. We've been talking about a lot of the political stuff when it comes to pop culture, because at some point in time, all of these brands, all these studios, all these game developers became incredibly political.
Yeah. And the thing is, unfortunately, when you do that on either side, you end up alienating a bunch of your customer base. Because that's why we say, just the only way to win is not to play. There's a reason why for years they've said two things not to talk about: religion and politics. There's a reason, because it's too divisive. And if you want customers, you can have your personal beliefs. If you have your personal page, if you really feel led to say something, then you can. But when it's a company, you shouldn't speak for the entire company as your mouthpiece, because it's going to just turn certain groups of people off.
Yeah, and we're seeing what happens. What happens is activists come into certain companies that are established because they have a huge megaphone at that point. They want the company to become a part of their activism, and they wind up losing customers because of it, because not everybody's on board with that. Now, that's not to say that the company can't donate to political candidates if they want to, but when you're broadcasting it, or you give to the wrong side and the media finds out later,
Oh, no, that was funny. Disney put on their parks blog, they were bragging about how they gave $150,000 to educational efforts in the Orlando area and teachers. And I was like, oh, how big of you, Disney? You gave $150,000 to educational efforts in the area, but you give millions to lobbyists to overturn laws. And you said you were going to send all kinds of money to make sure that you had to fight things to overturn laws. But how nice of you to give a pittance to the educational system.
So anyway, this is coming from Newsweek. Again, hat tip to Black Sage D. Starbucks, Coca-Cola, and Netflix are told to shut up silence brand on abortion rights report. Large corporations, including Starbucks, Coca-Cola, and Netflix, have reportedly been advised to stay silent about the abortion issue in the wake of leaked Supreme Court draft decision.
I think also it's going to mean, I think Disney's being told to stay quiet because they're not saying anything.
Yeah, Disney's in this too. Yeah, and I think they've learned. I think they learned from the parental rights bill to just shut their
So they
mouth.
should have just stayed their mouth shut then.
Communications company Zeno Group discreetly advised its clients against commenting on the draft Supreme Court opinion overturning Roe v. Wade, according to an internal memo obtained by an independent online newsletter, Popular Information.
It sounds to me like even the Supreme Court things being leaked, which is a very, very big deal. They shouldn't, that's a scary thing that Supreme Court stuff got leaked, that there's people out there actively leaking things to try to sway, stir the shit and sway and preemptively try to sway things so it doesn't go the way they don't want it to.
I'm sure. The company's client base also includes Salesforce and Hershey's. So I guess we're not going to be getting woke chocolate again. M&M's is already doing that. That's
true.
Yeah.
That's Mars.
Mars. According to this report, a Zeno executive reportedly sent an email to staff that includes a template email to share with client contacts concerning the leaked Supreme Court draft. It's unclear whether this email template has already been sent to Zeno's clients and for how long those companies should follow the PR firm's advice. According to the template, clients were reportedly told that the media and others will look for corporations to take a stand and make their own views known.
They're trying to get corporations to use it as a battering ram, and if they don't, they're going to try to shame and publicly ridicule these companies. But as a PR firm, it's their job to look out for the company, and they're like, your best bet thing to do right now is to just don't get involved, which I agree with the PR firm. Don't get involved.
Well, here, get this. This is what they sent. Do not take a stance you cannot reverse, especially when the decision is not final.
Right, we don't know yet.
Right. This topic is a textbook 50-50 issue. Subjects that divide the country can sometimes be no-win situations for companies because regardless of what they do, they will always alienate at least 15 to 30% of their stakeholders.
Disney.
Excuse
me. Disney. Oh, sorry.
Disney, canary in a coal mine. You know what happens to canaries in coal mines, right? Do not assume that all of your employees, customers, or investors share your views.
Mm-hmm. That's why you're there to serve me Coke. You're not there to tell me what to think.
Yep. Zeno also warned companies against responding to media inquiries related to abortion.
And they're
rights.
going to come running for the companies because they want to use companies, and if you don't do it, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to bully these companies publicly.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Where's your statement?
Where's your black square?
I was gonna say it will be black square now.
Where's your pride flag? Where's your, what?
June's Pride Month. You all have to put out some merchandise, special things, and which I think is so insulting because basically it's just they're using that month to cash in.
Yeah.
And I think that's so insulting. But if they don't do it, they'll get called out for not doing it.
Yeah, that's the problem. And it is a no-win situation. So the best way, again, to win is not to play and just be like, as a company, we are apolitical. We have individuals that work for our company that have beliefs across the spectrum.
And they're allowed to have their beliefs across the spectrum.
Right, as long as it's not affecting the company. But the company itself is apolitical.
As long as it's not using the company name.
Right.
To go out there and spout their opinions.
And at that point, though, if you are truly apolitical, then you need to make sure your company is not donating to political candidates or, what I'm saying? And
we should take money out of politics anyway.
We should. Anyway, they went on to say, avoid media phishing. Often during controversy, media will make general inquiries to multiple peer organizations in which the first one to raise its hand becomes the lead. In a case like this, being at the center is not advisable, so be judicious if how general inquiries are managed. Again, Disney with the bill in Florida, they did that to themselves because other companies also donated to the same Republican candidates, and they didn't get the backlash that Disney got because Disney was the biggest, Disney was the most outspoken, and Disney jumped up and down for attention, and now they lost Reedy Creek.
Right, so this whole thing's about Disney. I mean, I was going to tell you, this is all because of Disney.
Companies were also advised to avoid pitching news stories regarding even unrelated topics to breaking news networks or outlets because those outlets could take the opportunity to ask about Roe v. Wade.
I agree. Everything the PR company is saying is what I would tell a company myself.
Yeah, this is common sense. I mean, the sad fact of the matter is that companies and media managers for these companies have lost common sense because they keep hiring these activists right out of college.
They should have just hired us. We would have told you, don't say that. Slap yourself.
Zeno Group also said the PR company helps its clients handle complex social issues, including the actions they may consider taking. We know and understand that companies are increasingly expected to take a stand on major issues.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. And we believe it's right to do so when it's authentic to the organization and consistent with their values and actions. Again, if it's a case of like, okay, our company deals with environmentally sustainable whatever, and we're going to give a bunch of money to like, you know, the Audubon Society or Ducks Unlimited.
Or there's some kind of societal issue coming on and you want to make a statement on renewable energy or something like that. Makes sense.
That makes sense. But like, hey, we're Coke. Let's talk about being too white. Mm-hmm. We're Disney. Let's talk about, the parental rights bill, the Don't Say Gay bill, whatever you want to call it. Again, you're overstepping and you're out of your lane.
But we're gonna make laws now.
We're gonna make laws now.
It did not work very well.
At Zeno, we believe in equal access to health care for all and a woman's right to make decisions. At the same time, we live in a world with different opinions and different views, and we respect those differences. That's the thing. It's not the company's place, if you're just manufacturing a product, to weigh in on the latest social issue, social cause. And most companies back in the day really didn't. You know, they kind of kept to themselves. I mean, the one thing that everybody got on board for, of course, was, you know, like World War II. Everybody was like, yeah, get Hitler, you know.
Yeah.
But, that was a unified, like the entire country was feeling that way. You know, this is like we're split right down the middle on a lot of this shit. So
and it's not a good look. I just, keep your head down and do what you do. Like keep your head down and make Coke.
Keep your head down, make Coke.
Yeah, keep your head down and keep like
Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
by the way,
that's right. No, keep your head down and Disney, and keep your overcharge people at your parks.
Yeah, and this is it, and it's starting to hurt them. They had this piece in the New York Post. They said Walt would never have allowed Disney to get political like this. That's
I don't agree.
Iffy. So here's the thing. Do I think Walt would throw in with the current breed of activists? Hell no.
No.
Because Walt Disney was a Republican. Walt Disney actually threw his own employees under the wheels of the bus.
That's why I'm not agreeing with this headline.
Yeah. Walt was very patriotic, but, again, Disney also did do a lot of, propaganda stuff back during World War II.
But Disney also, it was his company.
It was his company.
Actually the person that made the company. It was his name attached to it. But no, do I think that he wouldn't have allowed, not the activism we're seeing now. He would not have allowed that. Do I think he would have done stuff? He felt strongly against it. Yes, I totally think he would have done it. But he wouldn't have allowed, I don't think the activism type stuff that's going on today.
No, he wouldn't have. I actually I'm trying to sit here and think like what would, by some miracle, if Walt Disney were still alive today, whether, that he'd be a cyborg or whatever, it would be a very different...
He'd be a sentient animated character.
He would be. They would just transfer his consciousness into one of the audio animatronics.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what they would do. Just take his brain and plug it right in. If he were still around today, I think he would be about as popular as the Chick-fil-A guy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm being completely serious.
What was that pillow guy?
Oh, the pillow guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Walt Disney would be the new pillow guy.
It would be something like that. Because, saying he wasn't political is not true.
That's not true.
Saying that he would lean into this activism, I agree he would not.
No, not on the left anyway. But so Disney would be a very, very different company. But I think realistically, current year, you have to keep the politics out of it because there's no way to win.
I just love everybody goes in there like, well, what would Walt say? It's like, we don't know because Walt's no longer with us. So it does, not to be a dick, but it really doesn't matter what Walt says because his name's on the company and that's it. Like, if they could get rid of his name tomorrow because he's problematic now, they would do it.
Yeah, they would. I am really surprised they allow statues of Walt Disney in the parks. I'm surprised they haven't made a move to get rid of them because he's problematic. Mm-hmm. And the company's so much more than this toxic white male.
That's right.
Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
I think we're going to see more of this. And again, it's not because they've changed their minds. It's because they know it hurts their bottom line.
That's exactly what it is. Their stocks go down the shitter.
Yep. And they can't afford to go broke at this point. So
flush sounds.
Flushing. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.